Drake and his OV hoes should be banned from LA after Mr. Freaky Man himself is getting caught up in the rap game like Usher, not with herpes, but extreme disrespect for hip hop time and time again. More specifically, his growing tensions and hard ons for LA based rappers and not allowing them to perform at their own hip hop shows in Drake's own city of Toronto. It's literally Drake banning hip hop and hip hop shows in his own city for me. I mean, is that considered the king of hip hop? I don't think so, Maul. I mean, because Drake always thought that he would get more love in the City of Angels compared to Kendrick, but after realizing that was not the case, like at all, Drake still can't let go that he lost that rap battle and he is getting back into his pajama clothes, just like Kendrick said he would on that BET freestyle that he dropped years ago.
And nothing been the same since they dropped Control and tucked the sense of the rapper back in his pajama clothes. High five. I'm bulletproof. Pin a tail on a donkey, boy, you been a fake. Aftermath gets the last laugh. Damn!
And now Drizzle Pie is calling out for his biggest goon and super soaker, shooter, Mr. Top 5, Toronto's most hated goon and worst shooter with the lowest IQ score for his city, with hate being thrown his way left and right for very valid reasons.
Hey son, Kendrick Lamar can't come to Toronto. I'm here.
All of this Kendrick Lamar, all of this bullshit, we needed to hear from the real Achilles.
We're gonna slap Kendrick if we see him.
Oh shit.
You know.
Ready? Why the fuck you lying? Stop fucking lying.
As Drizzle Pie decides to use this motherfucker Top 5 like his favorite bottom boy by getting him to make threats after just getting released from jail, to not only threaten Kendrick Lamar, but the city of LA essentially, and any fans of Kendrick, and also telling any rapper who dissed his champagne papa to apologize to his Canadian daddy Drizzle Cake, they can no longer come back to Toronto. Oh my God, what are these rappers going to do without Toronto? This is the same soaker that allegedly shot and murdered an innocent civilian in their own city of Toronto.
Mr. Ali had been in custody, Jamie, for the last 3 years. Again, this was a January 2021 murder of a young man named Hashim Omar Hashi. Had no criminal ties. That Top 5, also Mr. Hassan Ali, essentially orchestrated and ordered this murder to avenge the death of his brother. But the allegation was that Mr. Hashi was not the intended target.
I'm going to bring every community together. Stop the violence. Positivity.
6.5 hours later.
I went to my cousin, man, and I prepared them little things for Kendrick, man. I prepared the little things, everything for my boy Kendrick. I want to greet him so bad. Even he's with the police. He's done. He ain't coming. He ain't fucking coming.
Yeah, Drake, that's the best way to make people feel loved by you in your city. Have your #1 soaker expose himself online that he'll shoot anybody who talks negative about his daddy, including innocent civilians potentially that live in your own city. What a hero, Drake. As if that's not bad enough, you also have Drizzle K calling out for help with YouTube's biggest LGBTQ member. We're not talking about me, we're talking about Aiden Ross, to make a complete ass out of himself by making vague threats to AD, T-Rel, Smack, and other respected hip-hop podcasters from LA by saying that he's gonna beat up their goons in LA, for talking crap to Aiden, for getting himself involved in LA street politics just for Drizzle Pie.
I'm not banned from LA, bro. I wish somebody would. I swear to God, I'm gonna go to LA, nobody's gonna do shit to me, I promise you, bro. I don't give a fuck. Like, you think I'm scared of LA? What? I lived in LA for years and years and years. I'm not banned from LA. Fuck that.
Then just to backtrack like he backs that ass up for Drake in the same video to say, well, I'm not gonna beat up no goons, but my security will.
I'll smack the shit out of you. Well, not me, but I'm gonna have security smack the fuck out of you. Not me. But I'm gonna have security smack the fuck out of you and beat your ass. It's that simple.
Well, no shit, dipstick. Did you really think that anybody on the West Coast thought that you could throw hands with any of our people? Okay, but and let's not forget Drake's best glazer and cheerleader, OVO Mall, with claiming that Drake is the biggest artist that ever came out of Canada.
Drake will do a show in LA. Be a lot of people there that will definitely support Drake. I think everybody that goes to a Kendrick show in Toronto is going there to try to ruin his show.
What?
And Drake is the biggest export out of Canada, probably.
And on top of that, he's the biggest artist out of Canada. Have we not heard of Celine Dion? But okay, Jamil, how about we just ban Drake from LA? It's the right thing to do. I mean, he's banning rappers from Toronto. He doesn't really love hip hop. No, apparently to OVO Mall standards, Drake is too big for LA at this point. That's right. Too big for LA, the same place he got ran out of and has to list his $88 million Calabasas mansion at after getting threatened with multiple people from LA coming for him after he came for Kendrick and Tupac on that Taylor Swift freestyle. Just like the puppy he is, Drizzle is back now hollering and whining his way up to the six because nobody wants him in LA. That includes the Bay Area, that includes San Diego. Kind of like how P. Diddy got ran out of LA in 97 when he set up Biggie to get shot in LA 6 months after Tupac passed. Oh, that's right. Never mind. Let me just break it down here on why Drake should not be allowed back in LA and banned for the future when it comes to anything related in hip hop or street politics. Getting LA streets involved. Now, Drake is pulling the ultimate Diddy move of the 90s, not buying baby oil from Costco, but getting his own friends in hip hop and team involved in street antics that involve other rappers in hip hop. Just like Diddy in the 90s, Drake is purposely antagonizing a whole West Coast that has love and respect for Kendrick Lamar, just like how Diddy was attacking Tupac and his fans in LA before and after Tupac's passing, especially after his passing, with bringing the Notorious B.I.G. to LA for album promotion, not even for Biggie's album. For the Diddlers album, No Way Out, one of Maul's favorite albums. But the comparisons between Diddy and Drake don't involve their music, but more about the crews that they bring around their hip-hop labels and how it affects hip-hop, especially with Diddy in the 90s by hiring active Crip members from California, Southside Crip members to be more precise, Keefe D, his crew, including his nephew, Orlando Anderson, who was allegedly involved with the murder behind Tupac Shakur in Las Vegas. And Diddy decided to play gangster and live the thug life, and Diddy never lived by bringing in gang members to actively send threats to Pac and anybody who was representing with Pac on the West Coast back in the 90s. And while Drake and his goons are on a way smaller scale, Drake's ego is so far up his asshole that he really feels that in some way he's gonna get respect back in LA after all the shit he pulled in hip hop. You're gonna try to bring your goons on a Zoom call from Toronto to try to pop some shit off and think you're gonna get hugs and kisses from West Coast fans? And let's keep it very real. If Drake could right now hire some strong, reputable LA goons like how Diddy was able to do in the 90s by hiring those Crips to come against Pac as security, oh, you know he would try to do it. But that's the thing. You have no respect from anybody in the hip hop culture, let alone the hip hop streets. In LA? Never. So if he could, he would be doing the same thing that the Diddler was doing back in the 90s, which ended up killing two of the greatest rappers of our genre, Tupac and the Notorious B.I.G. And let's be very clear here, this is not the first time that Drizzle Pie started this buffoonery with adding streets and music in LA. He started this shit back home in Toronto, having another issue a couple of months ago with his former collaborator, The Weeknd, with reports that the OV Hoes were behind the shooting with Abel's bodyguard at his home. Now, this makes me question, why would OV Hoes even be associated or involved potentially with a shooting with the biggest pop star coming from Toronto, The Weeknd? Because, I mean, again, you're not a gangster. You don't come from the thug life in Canada. And your mother made that very clear. You didn't come home with bricks in your pocket. You came home with tuna sandwiches, or at least waiting for your mom to bring you one. Even if you want to look like you were the one behind the shooting and you weren't, why are you trying to create this image back home? The same image that you created back in the States that your own mentor, Lil Wayne, told you to stay away from. He told you to stay Canadian with your maple syrup.
The day Wayne met me to now, I haven't changed anything about myself. And he really liked the kid that he met. And he was like, don't stop smiling either. Don't try and get mean or aggressive. He's like, just be you, man. Just be you and rap about life and women and family. Be happy. Be that guy. Be the guy that I could never be. He can't be that guy because he has tattoos all over his face. Then he has dreads and he has diamonds in his mouth. And he's a completely different person.
Be honest and transparent about who you are.
Right. Well, I definitely am not white.
But you got lost in the sauce and you're starting to act like a thug that you were playing in the States back home. It does not look good for you, but I don't give a shit. Drake has his own problems back home. And if he can't even resolve the issues between his former collaborator, The Weeknd, and having issues with him over petty shit, what makes him think that he can come over here and start shit on the West Coast or just anywhere in the States for hip hop? You have no place to be talking the way that you are or having your streamers, Aiden and DJ Squirrel, disrespect anybody from the West Coast, anybody that's associated to Kendrick Lamar, because you don't know every one of us. You don't know what we're capable of. So I'm just going to leave it at that. But I will tell you this, if you cannot defend your own self back home and have lost all respect back home in Canada, what makes you think that you earned or deserve any respect after getting obliterated by Kendrick Lamar after you disrespected hip hop? You didn't get disrespected by Kendrick for no reason. You didn't get disrespected by Push for no reason. You're just a disrespectful motherfucker who doesn't appreciate hip hop. You know what? I don't really have final thoughts for this one, so bye! Until next time, thank you so much for watching. Go be amazing and have an amazing day.